Hello, hello everyone. Very good morning to all of you. Welcome back, everyone. So, participants, in this journey of building the pipelines, targeting the CI/CD pipelines, we have been working on various stages into the pipeline. So, we did start hosting our source control with github.com, where we have hosted our code by creating a repo. Into that repo, we are hosting our projects. And as part of the previous session yesterday, I did go ahead and pick a simple project that involved a jar package, and we have built the jar package and we were able to get the output simple as hello world. So what is this Maven has to do in terms of the build process? We will understand a little more. Yesterday, we have seen a standalone application like a jar package. So today, what is will participants on the similar lines, instead of a jar concept, we will go and shift our solutioning towards web applications involving var projects. So similar to jar, we will also have var. The difference is they are related to the web applications. The one you have seen is standalone application. So how do you go ahead and generate a var package, and how that generated var package will behave? How do you go ahead and deploy it? And how you go ahead and manage these var and jar packages? Basically, the packages that you're creating, var or jar packages, are created in your local machine. You guys realized something, you have been creating them on your local machines. That means that's always a question, because when it comes to storage, how do you go ahead and store the data? So one of the participants was asking, would you like to show us the storage into GitHub? Yes, we can go ahead and store it. I'll show you both the options. So participants, for this, I will need a code. What I'm going to do is now I'm going to show you how you can fetch a var package from the Maven documentation itself. Go to Maven and say, Maven, I would need a web app project to handle. So type in web app and you should be getting web app archetypes. So I've already highlighted about the concept of archetype. Archetype is a standard project and you are trying to create a similar project based upon the standard project. So in this scenario, I'm looking for a web app project. So this is how the project structure will look like if you go and clone it. Form.xml file, source code, and some code will be written in JSP file. So participants, what we're going to do is now we will just go ahead and execute this command so that we should get some var code. Once again, it's a similar code what you have seen yesterday, but here instead of yesterday Java file, now you are getting a JSP file, Java servlet pages. So participants, let's go ahead and execute this code. By the time I execute, you'll get much of the understanding. First, let's check to our OneDrive, my desktop, and let me hit enter. So it will ask you some basic details. The basic details will include what is the group ID. It'll ask you what is artifact ID, what is a package that. Just remember the way that I'm entering, you can enter it. Okay, it is downloading some packages. Okay. Define the value for group ID. Technically, what is the definition for a group ID is nothing but when your project comprises of various services. So in order to group them, packages at one place, you can create a group ID, which becomes easy way of accessing. Some standards, industry standards are like they create a folder called com, under that the project, the company, let's say my company. And for that application app, whichever the application, this is some standard they will follow. Followed by artifact ID, the name that you want to give for your project. So I want to go ahead and give my project called my app, for example. What is a version? Since it's a development. That is what the word called snapshot means. Snapshot in the sense it's still under development. So I'm continuing for the development version 1.0 to start. Package. Instead of jar, I will go ahead and say I need a var package. It is asking me, are you sure to confirm? Yes. Participants, now I did get a project called my app. On my desktop, you should be able to see a folder with the name called my app. Okay, you guys can see this is a my app project. Now I want to go ahead and learn about this project. I want to see what is there inside this project. Okay, let me open my version, my editor, Visual Studio Code. File, add the folder to the workspace. This is my project now. So yesterday you have seen, participants, the code that was relative to jar packages. Now we are seeing a project which is related to var package. Source code, there's an extension file, web.xml. There's nothing inside in it. Index.jsp, which is placing hello world, and the corresponding form.xml file. And this is something which is class files. It's an empty folder. Test class files, empty folder. There is nothing inside in it. So are we good, participants, with the project? What do you call this as project hierarchy, the standard of the Maven project? Are we clear? Participants, do you want to know anything about this project? I would suggest you don't need to know anything more than this. It is not required at this moment because you are not writing the code. We're just utilizing a sample code. That's our plan. So keep yourself always in the DevOps engineering mode, not in the mode of a developer that you're working for. Don't focus on the developer aspects. If you go into this, that means you are going in this developer direction. We are going in the DevOps engineering side. So what is my plan is, participants, if you have any queries, don't worry if you're not understanding what is this is all about. This is a source code. Source code, do something. Are we good, participants? Everyone, are we good? Can I proceed further? Okay, first question. Participants, now if this is a code, if I want to go ahead and handle this code now, what is that I need to do? Anyone? If I want to go ahead and build this project, how should I go ahead and build this project?
Maven package.
Terminal. Go to Maven terminal. What is the command? MVN
Package.
package. So it will take maybe about a minute or two. It will download all the packages. First thing what it will do, it will check for resources. Then it will compile your resources. It will check for test resources. It will compile your test resources. Then it will do run your test cases. Then it will go ahead and package. Then it will generate the var package for you. See, it is downloading all the jar packages and it will bundle it and make it a var package for you. Now, one of the participants been asking how to go ahead and store the artifact, which is, participants, remember the word whenever I say artifact. Artifact means a jar package, a var package, or it's purely, if you look at the technical definition for an artifact, it's output from build process. When you do a build, you'll get some output. That output may be a var, maybe a jar package, it can be anything, etc. So he has raised a very good point that he wants to go ahead and understand how to go ahead and store this var and jar package. I'm going to talk about it. Point one. Now, participants, what we have is this var package. So the point is, participants, first let's go ahead and do a check. Is this var package is running? Am I clear, everyone? Yesterday we have used jar package, right? Today I'm going to use var package. Where is the var package? The var package is sitting here. Now the question is, how will I go ahead and test this one, var package? Can anyone do a little search over the internet, participants? How to run a var package? If you have experience working with var packages, can you tell me how to go ahead and run this? If I want to use and test it, I want to test this artifact. How should I go ahead and test it? Or can you do a little search how to run a var package on the internet? So here I go, participants. Running a var package, I'm trying to do a search for var packages. So you can see how to deploy a var package to Tomcat. That means we are required to go ahead and use Tomcat to run a var package. So participants, have we set up Tomcat in our machine? Did we set up Tomcat local to our machine?
Yes.
Right? So what is that I need to do now is I need to go ahead and start the Tomcat. Participants, just make sure when you are installed Tomcat, first thing, check where is your Tomcat. You did install Tomcat in your drive C. There's a folder called Apache Software Foundation. There is a folder called 10.0. And you will get to see two main folders in it. One is bin and the one is WebApps folder. First, to make sure that your Tomcat is running, go to the bin folder. You will find Tomcat 10 application file. Just start this runner service exe file. It will run in the background. You have to let this service to be running in the background. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and check whether Tomcat is running. What is a way to call Tomcat? Local host. That means your server, local server.
8081.
8081. Why? Because we have installed Tomcat on 8081. That means Tomcat is happily running. Confirmation from everyone. Are we good with running of Tomcat? Are we clear with the running of the Tomcat? Okay, participants. Now, what is that we have to do? We have to deploy our application into Tomcat, or we have to deploy our application into Tomcat. So if you ask me where to deploy it, you have to deploy in your web app folders, guys. Here it is. When you want to go ahead and deploy it, you have to go ahead and deploy it into your web app folder. So if you go ahead and look about this Tomcat, you will find Tomcat folder with web apps here on this scenario, on this folder. Okay, so I'll keep this folder open at one side, and I would like to go to my project. Now I know my project bundled my artifact, kept in target folder. I can see there is an app.war file. I'll do a copy of that file and go to Tomcat WebApps folder and do a paste into it. I'm going to paste into it. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to copy the target from my project into Tomcat. That means inside the Tomcat, my application is running. Now double check. Is this really running? Slash the name of the project or the name of the application that you have. There you go, participants. A hello world is running. Are we good, everyone? Participants, are we good?
Yes.
So now, let me make it multiple times so that you can understand. So what I want to do now is I want to go ahead and test it one more time. Testing var package another time. So participants, what is the next step after the changes that I've done?
Maven package.
Maven package. Make it a habit. This is not compulsory. What I normally do is I make myself clean on the previous packages just to make sure that I don't have anything left. All the cleaning is done. Then I run personally what I have to do. I use package. I also use something called install. What are the differences? It will package and keep a local copy within the M2 directory, which is Maven directory. Package and it will install. See, it will install a local copy into my system. First, let's complete the execution of this var package. Yeah, you can see the var package is done successfully. Target folder, you get to see my app. In my app, there is a target folder. My app. Now I would like to copy. Where should I copy, participants? Tell me now. You should tell me where should I copy this to?
Apps.
I should copy to Apache Tomcat. Let me show you one more time how to open Apache Tomcat. Go to Drive C. Inside Drive C, you have program files. Okay. Inside program files, Apache Software Foundation 10.0 WebApps folder. You just now copied this file. I'll replace with the new file that I've created. Now, let's go ahead and double check whether the changes are visible. See, all the changes are getting visible. Testing the var package. This was the latest change that I've done. Participants, everyone, are we good? Participants, everyone, are we good? Okay. Now, first point. Is this changes are being tracked? Are being tracked, participants? Are we tracking these changes? Yes, no?
No.
The answer is no. We are not tracking it. So how do you go ahead and track these changes?
We need to push it to GitHub.
Very good. We need to push this to GitHub. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and call my project folder. What is my project? Beta project. I have a beta project. I open up another terminal. It clone this project, please, for me. Yep, there's a beta project. CD to beta. Look at into this beta, there is nothing. So let's check what are the branches that are associated with this git branch -a. There is master branch and there is develop branch on top of it. So participants, tell me what is the command to go ahead and create a develop branch? How to create a develop branch? Participants, what is the code for writing a develop? How to create a develop branch?
Git branch develop.
Okay, develop. It will create the develop branch. How to switch? Currently, you guys can see if I go ahead and say git branch -a, it is showing where is the reference to this, where it is referring to
Master branch.
Switch to develop branch. What is the command should I use?
Git switch develop. Hi.
Git switch develop branch. So it said I did switch to develop branch. Git branch
Git
-a.
hi.
You are
Now we
referring
are
to develop branch. Okay, are we good participants?
yes.
Now, what I want to do is I want to go ahead and take this entire project code into my project source code, like entire my app code into our project beta. Beta is the name of our project. So what I'll do, I'll go to the source code. I'll not use target. I'll only use source and keep pom.xml file. Okay. So I'm done with this project. I'm not going to be using. I'm not going to be using this one. Now, what I need, I have this. I have a source code. Now, participants, tell me what should I do to commit these changes? See, they are all uncommitted. You uncommitted, untracked, untraced. So what should I do now, participant? What are the commands in Git?
Git commit.
Git commit. Okay.
Message.
So it says first thing you have to add the changes. Without adding the changes, you cannot commit, right? Git add. So it says which location you are adding. I'm adding from the current location. Then commit. Git commit -m added var code. Next, what is the command, participants? Git push -u on the origin side. Please push it to branch develop. So it will go ahead and make changes all to the branch A. So it says it has rejected. So let me just go ahead and it pull the changes. And if you want to go ahead and set origin, it says git set upstream to branch. Okay. So what it is saying, try to set your branch to which origin that you want. Git branch to develop branch. I want to go ahead and set. Okay. And then git push these changes -u upwards origin. Be sure that I want to go ahead and push changes to branch develop only. One. Let me run this on the upper part of the screen. Git push -u. It says it is failed to push because there are some updates. Would you like to pull those changes? Okay, so it is conflicting the changes. Let's change my okay. Give me 1 minute, people. I was making some changes in the develop branch. It's in the previous develop code. See, it is from yesterday code. It is overlapping the jar form with the var form. So we'll do one thing. We will go ahead and what is the issue that I'm facing is yesterday form.xml file and today form.xml file, the names are same. So what is happening? Yesterday form.xml file, this is the yesterday form.xml file, is now sitting into my var.form.xml file. It is overlapping with the same name. So it is saying first fix it. Then I fixed it. Okay. And don't get into what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to resolve that issue. And wait for a minute, participants. You may not understand what I've done. And then now what I will do is I'll go ahead and one more time copy the code for the var package. Now I'll commit the latest changes. Now I'll go ahead and even clean whatever you have, just make it clean. And then add the changes. Now it's just like I have a new code. I'm committing the new code. Git commit new web app code is added. Yes. Git push these changes item new origin branch master. Shouldn't be the master. Git push these changes to origin, which is develop. Yeah. So participants, this is what you are expected to know. What is there inside this Maven project? See, the Maven project has main, web app, and the index.jsp. At the form.xml file, in the form.xml file, there is a var package. Now, participants, the code is available in GitHub to track the changes. Participant, what is the next step in this process? Can anyone tell me what is the next step in this process? What should we do after the code is made ready on the GitHub?
Package.
Package. Yeah, I know it was little confusing for the rest of the people that what I have done here. So let me tell you the summary of the story participant before. Yesterday we were using Maven jar packages to practice. And today we are using Maven var packages to practice. So what happened? The name of the file was form.xml file in the var package. And in this, it said there is another file which is form.xml. Yesterday we have done with the practice, I should have deleted this file or deleted this entire code. I did not delete it, I left it there. Now the problem, what happened when I tried to get the new file, when I went to develop branch and pull the code, whatever the file which was already copied, it was replacing the jar code here. The jar form.xml file has replaced the form.xml file for the var. That means yesterday's file was replacing today's form.xml file. This is outdated code. This is the updated code. So what I've done is I said, let all the code, whichever is yesterday's, commit, clean it, and then I close this as another option. Then I replace with a new one. So this was the scenario which was happening. The jar form.xml file was getting replaced. Now, if you don't even understand this, okay, it's okay. This is nothing to do with our training. This is just because of the same names. It was doing some conflict. I resolved that conflict. Now, for you, the most important is the code available on the GitHub? Yes, the code is available on GitHub. Where it is? Did Kumar made it available on GitHub? The answer is yes. The code is available here. Source code and form.xml. What I have done in the background, if you have understood, that's fine. Even if you don't understand, that's fine. Focus on this one. Yeah, code is ready, source code is ready. Now, what is the next step in the process? Maven package. The moment I go ahead and run package, it will go ahead and build all the artifacts. And let me just check. Yes, it is giving me a var package. Now, Venkat was asking me how to go ahead and make this repo available on GitHub. I'll do it for you. Participants, how to go ahead and commit a file? Git add all the changes. Can you commit all the changes or pushing .var package to GitHub? Git push all these changes. Now, participants, everyone, go to my github.com. My version, my ID and the project beta. You get to see a new folder called target. Can you see a new folder target, participants? Can you see a var package here? Venkat, is your question answered? The var package is available?
Yes, Kumar.
Now, participants, I want you to think for a minute. What is this GitHub is for? What is the purpose of GitHub? Participants, what is the purpose of GitHub? Why we use GitHub?
For the source code management.
Awesome. Correct. Now, what is this we are storing?
Wow.
Yeah, what is that work package called?
Source code.
Artifact.
Yeah.
Participants, what I'm trying to say is when you decided to store your code in GitHub, why is that you're storing artifact in that? Did you get the logic, participants? GitHub is designed to store your code, not the artifact. Though it can store, but that is not the practice that you should have. Then what should we do? We should go and start using something called artifact storage. Storage to store your artifacts. Now it is clear. Why did I not store the var package here? Why I'm not showing interest to show the artifact here? Because it is a practice that is a good practice to keep source code in GitHub and store artifact in artifact storage, like cloud. In AWS cloud, we can use S3 to store. In Azure, we can store in blob. In third-party repositories like Nexus, we can store, or JFrog artifact tree. These are all third-party tools that can be used to store your artifacts. Are you with me, people? So that as part of the DevOps engineering, when we want to go and use the artifact, you can use it. You can get the artifact from that. You can go and get the artifact. Everyone, are we clear? Participants, are we clear? Try keeping the usage of GitHub very specific to your code. Focus storing your code in GitHub. But when it comes to any artifact, you have to use artifact storage. Examples are S3 from AWS, Blob from Microsoft Azure, Nexus, JFrog artifact tree. A good number of artifact storage companies. So what I would like to do now, I would like to go ahead and clean my project so that there is no artifact. I go ahead and make all the commits and I say only make sure that git code is added, git commit is added, only code, only web app code is made available in github.com. And then git push these changes from my side towards up origin branch. I'll keep it as develop. Now, the good thing is you have only source code and pom.xml. Source code, pom.xml file that is required. Only web app code is made available. Only the code is made available. Is that clear now, participants? Why I'm not showing interest in storing artifacts into GitHub? Because artifacts are required to store in artifact storage. Version controls are designed to store your source code. It doesn't mean that you cannot store. You can store, no problem in storing it. Are we good, everyone? Participants, are we good?
Yeah,
Yes.
one quick question, right? Is there any linkage between the artifact storage and GitHub? Like GitHub would be anyway the version controlling, right? How we would know that in the artifact storage, like we have the latest version, how are they both interrelated?
That is how you should start designing. That's how the responsibility of DevOps engineer, that where is the latest artifact that you're storing, what is the versioning that you're using, how the artifact is going to store the latest. That is the responsibility of a DevOps engineer. Clear?
Mhm.
We'll come to that. I'll come to
Okay.
that part also. But for now, I'm suggesting let's try not keeping the artifact in version control. Will you agree with me, people? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now let's rewind our process, what we have done. So participants, as a DevOps engineer, we are working with developers. As part of the developers are expected to write the code, and developers are expected to write the code at github.com. There will be a account ID to which they will be having the project repo, and this is the repo that is made public. You and me are working on it. So in that we have a specific branch that we are working, which is the develop branch we are working, and we are making changes into this code. Yesterday we did use a jar code to practice. Today we are using var code to practice. Are we good, everyone? Yesterday you have seen a jar code. You pulled the changes, you committed, it's done. Today we are using a var package, keeping in mind web-related applications. Jar and a var package. So once the var package is available, once the var package is made available, code is made available, I'll go ahead and commit the code. I did made the commit updates in the code, then I committed, then I push the changes. After this process of version control, participants, what is the next stage? What is the next stage, participants? After the source is done, what is the next stage? Come on, guys, you're DevOps engineers. You can't
Build code.
build right after source. What I'm trying to do for the build, I'm using Maven, package all the artifacts. So if the code is jar, I'm getting a jar package. If the code is var, I'm getting var package. Clear, participants? Hello? We are getting jar package for the jar code which we have written, var packages. Jar we have just ran on the machine, we got it. Var packages we deployed into which server? Tomcat. Participants, are we good? Everyone, are we good?
Yes.
So now
Yes.
forget about your jar packages. Jar is just a simple standalone, like a hello world example. Forget, that is done. So let's keep ourselves focused on var package as much as possible on the var packages. So let me just go ahead and completely show you the end-to-end process, people, what I'm trying to do. The step one is source. So I have my project, I have my source, I have my package. Index.jsp package. I'm going to test it one more time. Testing var package one more time. And I'm going to delete this. I'll keep this in a bigger font. Now, participants, you tell me the procedure. What should I do
Add.
now? Add. Then you have to be very specific. Which
Add
folder
all.
you are adding the changes? The
All
current.
changes.
And all changes.
Very good. Next, what is the step?
Commit message. Get commit message.
It commit with the message,
Right. Yes.
right? So
Yeah.
testing another time. Yes, are done. What is the next step?
Git pull.
Origin.
To which place should I push?
Branch develop.
Origin,
Develop.
develop. Changes are done. That means this is the responsibility of the developer. He has done with his changes. What is the role of the DevOps engineer?
Just to package all this in Maven. Build.
Correct. Now let's assume that developer code is done. Now this is what DevOps engineer has to do. Now I'll remove everything. I'll remove these two files just to show you that I am very much a DevOps engineer now. I'll close everything. Let this Tomcat be running. Okay, as a DevOps engineer, what is my responsibility? Go to the code, the latest code, which is available in the develop branch. Clone that latest branch. I can use GitHub Desktop. You can use GitHub Desktop as well. Clone the latest code. Now I'm at the role of a DevOps engineer. So I pull the latest code. It's available. Code is available. I go ahead and why it is empty, guys? Code, there is no code. Check it out. Let me open the project. Check it out, participants. It's empty. All the efforts have gone in vain. See, you and me have worked hard to get the code, and this code has gone up. Participants, this code is empty, guys. The folder is empty. Now you see the code is available. What did I do?
Just change the branch.
That's it.
From
Why?
master to develop.
Correct. There was no code in master. There is zero code in master. I'm not changing anything in master. I'm just keeping my code, everything in develop branch. That is the reason. Okay. Now, what is that next thing, participants, as a DevOps engineer I'm supposed to do? I'm supposed to go ahead and go to my project and then Maven clean, just to be sure we don't have anything there. Clean everything. Maven package everything. So Maven is expected to have the package code. Latest code is available. So if I have to test whether the project is running as expected, what I should do? I should go to target folder, package folder, and make this package running. Where should I run this? Inside Tomcat I should be running. I'll replace this. So how will I go and check whether the project is running? On Tomcat, localhost port 8081, followed by the name of the application. See that? Testing var package, another testing var package, one more time I mentioned. So participants, if you have seen as a DevOps engineer, I did handle my source code where all the latest code is available and I built using Maven. Started to build using Maven. But I am only working on a process where the developer is making the changes. I'm pulling the changes from the source code and building it. So let's assume the developer is making one change. One time I'll pull the code and build it. But if the developer makes 10 changes, so I have to make 10 times cloning, 10 times build. 10 times clone, 10 times build. 100 commits, 100 times clone, 100 times build. So I need to break this now. not me doing this job. So what is the tool should I use here, people, to do this, all the actions? Jenkins. Jenkins is something that I will use. So yesterday you have seen it for a jar package. We have brought the idea of Jenkins. Even for RAR, also we can use Jenkins to pull the code and build the code. So that is now, participants, our agenda, which we will start using for, or we will start bringing Jenkins into. Everyone, are we good now? Hello, participants. Now, as a DevOps engineer,
Yes.
I am responsible for automating the process of source code pull, source code build with Maven, and also handling the artifact into a storage. So all these options, which are actually right now done manually, I need to go ahead and give it to Jenkins. So Jenkins can do it without me involving manually. Participants, are we good for now at this juncture to wrap this session?